Welcome to a play-by-play review. I'm your host, Henry, and we've had not one, but two managerial fires in the past week in Major League Baseball so far, which is pretty crazy for not even the end of April. Basically, basically a full month calendar-wise since the start of baseball, since the start of the season, I think it was actually the 25th was when it started, so it's been, at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 weeks now. I guess that would make sense because I think this is what week 5 that I'm doing here. Anyway, the we've had Alex Cora and for the Red Sox, and hang on, I actually do not remember who the Phillies. This is the Phillies manager who got fired. I literally do not remember his name. Hang on a minute. What was Rob Thompson? That's his name. Phillies were 9-19 when that happened. That actually happened earlier today. Technically, it was yesterday because I'm now recording this on Wednesday, but it was the Tuesdays when it happened. Cora got fired the back on whenever it was on Saturday. That's what it was. Right. Oh yeah, I'm a Saturday behind. Hang on a minute. There we go. Yeah. Cora got fired back on the 25th of April. That Saturday. Rob Thompson got fired earlier today. Technically, it's yesterday at this point, but today, Tuesday, the 28th of April. So those are both big news. Or pieces of big news. And other news. Again, pretty much the entire American League is just incredibly mediocre outside of the Yankees, I guess. But even then, the Yankees don't feel like super spectacular. But I might just be hating on them. I don't know. And then the National League is a lot better. Mason Miller gave up his first run, though it should, I think, be changed to an unearned run because it was weird. It was like this, bunt sing. I don't know. It was something that was going on. But he should potentially just be giving up some unearned runs. But that whole thing was weird. You can look it up. I don't know. But other than that, we'll get right into it. As always, I will try and speed through this. I am a little tired at the moment. Though I think I'm catching a second wind right now, so all should be good. And I will try and speed through these as fast as possible. It might just kind of skim through the stats and stuff a bit faster than I normally do. But we're starting back on Wednesday, the 22nd of April. The Orioles and the Royals were concluding their series, split at that point as the Orioles had choked away a lead on Tuesday. Though this one they would win 8-6. Kobe Mayo had a 3-run home run. He would go on a bit of a stretch right there. And Orioles would thankfully take the series in this one. It was still overall pretty solid. Chris Bassett got his first win as an Oriole. The Orioles put up 6 in the 6th inning, which is pretty nice. I certainly like that a lot. Pete Alonso also had a home run in this game. So it definitely took him a while to get going, and he didn't have a great series against Boston, but he had a good game against Houston earlier today. So that was good. It was definitely a bit worrisome for Gunnar Henderson since he went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts in that game. But he turned it around against Boston despite the series there. But it was good to see for the Orioles at that point. Anthony Nunez also got his first save. So he's one of the many guys that the Orioles have at the moment who were former Mets. Nunez, part of the Cedric Mullins deal at the deadline last year, that are thriving on the Orioles at the moment. So that was good to see there. The Yankees completed a sweep. Or no, this is actually game 2 of 3 against the Red Sox. Which they would eventually sweep. The Yankees have been on a very good run at the moment. They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They were on game 5 of 8 at that point of a winning streak. And after that, they've won 2 out of 3 still. So they've won, 10 of their last 11 at the moment. So that's been pretty good there. They would win 4-1 over the Red Sox here. Max Fried would go 8 shutout innings. So the Red Sox would get one in the ninth. But yeah, this was a nightmare series for the Red Sox. Ranger Suarez got knocked around a good bit. It was not good, to say the least, for the Red Sox, and it would only really get worse for them against the Yankees and then against Orioles for their first game, at least. Though they would turn it around, oddly enough. So after that, the Marlins and the Cardinals would play here. Marlins taking this game 4-1. This was the end of a series of 3 between these two National League teams, with the Marlins taking the series victory in 3 games. So they would win the first and third, lose the second one. Marlins actually had 12 hits in this game, only scored 4 runs. Cardinals only 4 hits and only scoring 1. So Pete Fairbanks got the save there. And yeah, it was a good one. It's just, yeah, it was pretty good right there. Owen Casey had an RBI. Marcy had a couple RBIs as well. So I know Casey was on, I think he was on Team Canada for the World Baseball Classic. That's why I remember the name. And I think he's a rookie as well. So I think Marlins fans got to be happy about that. The Cardinals I think they've been faltering a little bit as of late. A little bit. But overall, they're still doing pretty solid in just that incredible NL Central. Speaking of the NL Central, the Reds and the Rays would play. The Rays would take this one 6-1, I believe winning the series as well. Oh no, they'd actually stave off a series sweep. So they would lose the first 2, but win the third one and actually go on a bit of a run here. And so that put them at that point to 13-11. The Reds at that point would only drop to 16-9. So they were, off to a really hot start, were the Cincinnati Reds of all teams. But they're doing really well at the moment. Are the Reds. This one, not as much. Nick Martinez got his first win of the season for the Rays. I know Brian Baker's been doing really well for Tampa Bay as well. So as an Orioles fan, that makes me happy to see. The Astros and the Guardians would play. Astros would win this one 2-0, though their season definitely has not been super spectacular. They did take the series there against Cleveland, winning 2 out of 3 and advancing to 10-16 at that point. Astros haven't played a ton of games at the moment. I feel like they had a couple off days in between. But yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle for basically everyone outside of Yordan Alvarez. Like he's been hitting really well. It's just like everyone else on the Astros team that has not been hitting well. And it's like, well, I guess it's not entirely true. It's that like their offense has been scoring a lot of runs, but it's like mostly Yordan Alvarez. It's just their pitching staff has been really bad this year. So they've given up a ton of runs. At least that was the stat early on in the season. I think it's still pretty much held true. Though obviously their pitching staff in this game did not give up a run to Cleveland there. So the Astros at that point, though, were 10-16, Cleveland 14-12. I think the Guardians at that point were still leading the AL Central, so that's kind of how that division was going. In short, not very good, pretty much. But all right, I feel like I got to be like Chris Berman at ESPN Halftime for Football, where he's just like speeding through everything. Although there's no Raiders, I go the Athletics or whatever you call them, because they used to play in Oakland, so it's not the Raiders, it's the Athletics. Just doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well. Anyway, I'll get to the Athletics in just a moment. The Blue Jays and the Angels would play. Blue Jays would lose this one to the Angels 7-3. This was another Mike Trout home run. Mike Trout's been having a pretty solid season overall. And the Angels would stave off the series sweep there, though they've had a rough stretch as of late. They had a pretty decent start to the season, but they've been on quite the downswing at the moment. They've actually since the first loss to the Padres. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they've lost 9 of their last 10. So that's not very good, to say the least. That's not very good at all, actually. So at that point, they were 12-14. It's not gotten much better at this point, though. Again, Mike Trout, It's not having too bad of a season. Actually, curious how many home runs he has. He has 9 home runs. Okay, so not like quite close to the top. Tied for 6th there at the moment, but still, it's good to see him thriving for a little bit. Meanwhile, the A's and the Mariners will play in an AL West showdown. Andres Munoz actually got the win there. Wait, no, is this different? No, it is Andres Munoz. He has a 3-2 record at the moment. Interesting. As a closer, I feel like closers don't get too many wins. Anyway, so the Mariners would win this one. They would avoid the sweep against the surprisingly decent Athletics. The Mariners have turned it around a little bit as of late. Though at this point they were advanced to 11-15. The A's were 13-12. Cal Raleigh had a home run. I know Andres Munoz, he got off to a rough start, but has started to turn things around. And this was, I believe, a walk-off for the Mariners. Hang on, let me just double check the box score. Yes, this was a walk-off for Seattle there to avoid the sweep. Meanwhile, the Tigers and the Brewers would play. Tigers would win this one 5-2. Spencer Torkelson actually had a pretty good game. And, for Detroit fans, they definitely like to see that there, since he was a high draft pick and has not panned out so far for them. This was the middle of a 3-game series where Detroit lost the first one, but had won the second one here. And so this game was, Torkelson, had 2 RBI, so I guess he had an 2 RBI double. Or 2 RBI hit, hit a home run. Someone was on base, 2-run home run. If I can read it correctly, then I can actually recount it correctly. But yeah, there we go. So the Tigers win that one 5-2. The Braves and the Nationals would play. Braves win this one 8-6. Braves off to a really good start this season, really good start. And this was the middle of 3 between third game of 4 between these two teams. Braves would take the third game in that series, so they would go up 2-1 in that series there. And the Braves, their offense, I feel like, has been very good, and just overall has been a good team. Michael Harris II had 2 home runs, and one of if not the best team record wise in all of baseball at the moment has been the Atlanta Braves. Major bounce back after last season's disaster for them. The Mets would actually win. I think this was this the end of the series between these two? No, this was actually them snapping their 12-game losing streak here against the Twins. So they finally ended there. Taylor Rogers got the hit with a loss for the Twins. Mets would win this one 3-2. This is Luke Weaver, right? Is your name? Yeah, Luke Weaver. He would get the win there. So I think he might be the closer for the Mets. I'm not quite sure. But he 2-0 at that point on the season. So the Mets would scrape their way back to 8-16. Twins fall to 12-12. Neither team doing all that well so far this season. Twins have had, they had got off to a decent start to the season, actually a really good start, but they've, of their last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They won 2 of their last 12. So that is a really bad skid right there for the Twins. Obviously better than the Mets, who lost 12 in a row, but, still not great. So the Cubs, meanwhile, would win over the Phillies. And this was in the midst of Philadelphia's major losing skid and Chicago's major winning streak. So this was a 7-2 victory, which was win 3 in a row against the Phillies in a 4-game series. Phillies at this point fell to 8-16, so same record as the Mets. And this was in the midst of their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 game losing streak. Yeah, it's not been good for the Phillies at all. I don't even know why the Phillies are just so bad right now. It's just they have not been doing anything for the moment, from the looks of things. I know I think part of the reason their pitching staff is not doing well, Taijuan Walker got hit with a loss here, and he actually has since been released by the Phillies, just DFA'd outright. Taijuan Walker has. So, and I think this is his last performance for Philadelphia, and he went 1-4, or had a 1-4 record with a 9.13 ERA. So that is obviously not good at all. But their offense hasn't been great either, which is surprising. So the Pirates and the Rangers would play here. Pirates winning this one 8-4. O'Neal Cruz had a 3-run home run. Gregory Soto got with the win there for Pittsburgh. He's been actually doing pretty well in the closer role for Pittsburgh after a pretty mediocre stint with the Mets after being traded to them by the Orioles back at last year's deadline. So good for Gregory Soto there, finding a role there for himself in Pittsburgh. This was game 2 of 3 between these two teams, and Pittsburgh evened this series up there with advancing to 14-10 at that point. Rangers 12-12. The Rockies would actually beat the Padres here 8-3. Tomo Sagano got the win there, so he's actually been having a pretty decent time there in Colorado, surprisingly enough, after having a up and down season, his first season in the majors with the Orioles. Walker Buehler got hit with the loss there. This was the 8-3 one. So this was middle of 3 between these two teams. And Colorado evened the series up there at 1 apiece. Then another NL West team. Actually, both of those teams were NL West. Now we have a third NL West team. Actually, all 5 of them here in the last 3 games. But the Diamondbacks will play the White Sox. Diamondbacks win this one 11-7. Ildemaro Vargas had 2 home runs. He's been having a pretty nice stretch for the D-backs. And this was game 2 of 3. The D-backs would even the series up there. I think Munetaka Murakami had another home run in this game. He got a 5-game stretch where he hit home runs. He had a home run in this game. It was just the White Sox pitching staff that did not have a good time at this point. But this is a fun series. It was definitely a fun series there. Nolan Arenado also had a 2-run home run. So the D-backs faltering a little bit as of late, slightly compared to the Dodgers and the Padres, but still well within striking distance of the NL West. Then finally, speaking of the NL West, again, the Dodgers and the Giants would play. This was, I believe, in the middle of a 3-game series between these two. Yes, it was. And the Giants would actually take this series in 2 games, winning the first 2 here, winning this one 3-0, surprisingly enough. And this was a late run, basically San Francisco would score all 3 runs in the 7th inning. It was, there was a home run courtesy of Patrick Bailey. I think your name's Patrick, right? Yeah. The catcher, Patrick Bailey, out of the 9 spot as well. He would have a home run there. I think 3-run home run, actually. 3-run home run, which would wind up being the winner there for the Giants. So they had taken 2 in a row against their division rival and basically the division leader. Dodgers was pretty nice there for San Francisco. So we move on to Thursday, and this was off day for a lot of teams. The Yankees and Red Sox would wrap up a series there with the Yankees sweeping that series, winning 4-2 in Boston. I believe was this in Boston? Yeah, it was in Boston. Cam Schlettler got the win there. He would move to 3-1 on the season. Danny Coulombe got the loss. Fortunate there to see for Danny Coulombe because he was former Oriole for a good bit, and he was really good for the Orioles for a couple years. David Bednar got the save. He's been having a pretty solid season overall. I think he's had a couple not so great moments, but he's up to 9 saves on the season now. So he just had one tonight against the Rangers that was almost bad, but he got induced in a game-ending double play there against Texas earlier today. The Braves and the Nationals would play again. Braves would win this one 7-2. This was the debut of a new pitcher for the Braves, J.R. Ritchie, and he would actually have his first pitch ever get just absolutely demolished by James Wood into like the third deck. It was crazy. But after that, he turned it around very well and would actually get the win in this game, with ending with a 2.57 ERA for the game. So he advances to 1-0 there. It's a nice story there for the Braves, and they would win 3 out of 4 against the Nationals over in DC, and at that point advance to 18-8, whereas the Nationals would fall to 11-15. Is that CNL Perez got the loss? So another former Oriole having a rough day on the mound, out of the bullpen as well, because he is a relief pitcher too. Both lefties as well, Coulombe and Perez. So that is, it's like the 2023 Orioles bullpen right there, Coulombe and Perez. At least part of the 2023 bullpen. So next up, the Tigers and the Brewers would play. This was a Tigers 5-4 victory, so they would win the second and third games in that series to take the series there. Spencer Torkelson had a walk-off home run, so he had a pretty nice series there for the Tigers. Brewers had 10 hits, but only scored 4 runs there. And yeah, pretty good there for the Tigers. They would advance to 14-12. Brewers fall to 13-11. Brewers had also gotten off to a nice start to the season, but have faltered a little bit as of late. They like got off to a really nice start, then went on a losing streak, then a winning streak. It's been, I mean, they're couple of games over 500. It's been up and down, so to speak. The Cubs would complete the series sweep over the Phillies with an extra innings victory. Dansby Swanson with the walk-off hit there for the Cubs in the 10th inning, winning 8-7. Phillies at that point fell to 8-17. And yeah, that was 4 straight wins for the Cubs against the Phillies. Cubs at that point 16-9. Javier Assad got the victory there for the Cubs as well, so he would bounce back after a bad start the game prior, or his start prior essentially. And yeah, Cubs definitely one of the better teams in baseball at the moment. Meanwhile, the Padres and the Rockies would play again. Padres winning 10-8 at this point, or in that game. They would take the series, winning the first and third games in that series. The Padres at that point advanced to 17-8. Rockies fell to 10-16. Gavin Sheets, with celebrating his 30th birthday, hit the go-ahead 3-run home run as the Padres rallied to beat the Rockies 10-8, according to the headline. So I guess the Rockies actually had, they went up 5-2 after the second inning, but a 5-run ninth inning helped win it there for the Padres there. So that's pretty good. Rockies had 2 errors as well, which certainly didn't help. Meanwhile, the White Sox would actually win the series against Arizona. This was a Paul Sewald loss, which led to me dropping him from my fantasy team because that was not good to see. Murakami did lose his home run streak in this game, but the White Sox themselves would win the series there, winning the first and third games. And White Sox, record-wise, they were only 10-15 at this point, but I feel like they haven't been too bad this year. Obviously, Murakami's been incredibly fun to watch, but the White Sox, not horrible so far. Definitely better than some other teams, that's for sure. Meanwhile, out west, or I guess like further west, over in San Francisco, the Dodgers would stave off the sweep, winning this one 3-0. So flipping the score from the previous night. The Giants had won 3-0 the night before. Now the Dodgers would win this one. Tyler Glasnow got the win. Logan Webb got the loss. So Logan Webb 2-3 on the season with a 4.86 ERA. Not his best start to the season whatsoever there. And the Giants at that point fell to 11-14, so they've also been just kind of mediocre at that point. Meanwhile, the Mets would actually win 2 in a row, winning the series against the Twins, winning 10-8. Devin Williams actually got the save there, he got the win at least. I don't know if did he get the save? Yes, he got the save. And there's like this weird mix-up where Williams was like coming out to go pitch, but then they like called him off or something. It was some strange mix up there with the like bullpen management, but in the end the Mets would win. So they would advance to 9-16 at that point, but obviously still not a good season for them. Then finally, the Rangers would win over the Pirates 6-1 there. Jacob deGrom got the win. Bubba Chandler with the loss. So the Rangers would win that series against the Pirates, winning the first and third games of that series. And Rangers at that point advance to 13-12. Pirates fall to 14-11. So Friday would begin with basically all new series for almost every team. I think pretty much every team. I think pretty much every series here was new. I want to say at least. Just from a glance, yes, they're all new series here. So the Orioles would start a series against the Red Sox, winning 10-3 here with 6 home runs. Adley with 2 of them. Brandon Young got the win here, so he's actually 2-0 on the season. Brian Bayo gave up all 6 of those he gave up. I don't think he gave up all the home runs. He gave up 8 runs though. But I streamed this game back on my own channel on YouTube, Henry the Host. It is all one word. You can check out Orioles games. I stream them every Friday. I also do gaming streams every Thursday. I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate in just a couple days. I got to actually install that on my computer. I have not played it yet at all, so I'm curious to see how that game is going to be. But Orioles would have a really nice night at the ballpark here. They would actually run out of home run fireworks, which was really cool. Though this is where the Orioles peaked in that series, as it was all downhill after that. The Reds and the Tigers would open up a series. The Reds winning this one 9-8. One of the Lows, I think this is Brandon Lau. No, it might be Nathaniel Lowe. This is Nathaniel Lowe. He got the walk-off 2-run home run. Kenley Jansen blows the save there. And is that Gavin Ashcraft? Is that your first name? Graham Ashcraft. He would get the win there for the Reds. So the Reds at that point advanced to 17-9 with that win over the Tigers, who would fall to 14-13, who are really struggling away from Detroit. 14-11 at that point. In away games. That's rough right there. So the Guardians of the Blue Jays, meanwhile, would match up for an American League showdown in Toronto, and the Guardians would win this one 8-6. Max Scherzer with the loss. Is this Gavin Williams? Yes, Gavin Williams with the win. 2 home runs for Angel Martinez. So that's big there for the Guardians, who offensively have been a bit up and down, so to speak. But that game, they certainly found some offense there and would advance at that point to 15-12. Blue Jays, meanwhile, would fall to 10-15. And so next up, the Rockies and the Mets would play, and the Mets' 2-game losing streak would end right here. And this was, I guess, they're saying the next game was going to the next game was getting postponed. But this one was a 4-3 victory for the Rockies. Freddie Peralta got the loss there for the Mets. As the Mets tried to come back, they would score 2 in the 8th, but falter in the 9th inning. The Rockies closer, Antonio Senzatella, I believe that is how you pronounce his name. Looks like that is at least a relief pitcher for the Rockies, who has 2 saves at the moment, would get the save there. Michael Lorenzen got the win there for Colorado. Both teams with double-digit hits, but only 4 and 3 runs apiece. So that's kind of how it's going, essentially, for both those guys, or both those teams. Not guys. There's multiple guys in both those teams. I'm a little tired at the moment. But the Rays would win 6-2 over the Twins in their start of the series there. Junior Caminero and Jonathan Aranda both would home run. Taj Bradley with the loss there. Brian Baker got a save. So the guys performing well for the Rays, as Drew Rasmussen also got the win there. We're doing good there for Tampa Bay, as they would win at home over the Twins. I think Junior Caminero actually just got injured recently. Like, he basically fouled a ball right back into his face, which is not good. So hopefully he's okay at the moment. Meanwhile, the Braves and the Phillies would play. Phillies, their woes would continue as the Braves would win this one 5-3. Grant Holmes got the win for Atlanta. Ranger Suarez got the save, so he's up to 3 saves there. So it's nice having basically 2 closers on your roster. So if one goes down in Raisel Iglesias, you can pick another one back up. And yeah, the Braves at that point advanced to 19-8 at that point. Phillies fall to 8-18. So it's not super surprising that they fire their manager. Meanwhile, the Royals would win 6-3 over the Angels. Yusei Kikuchi got hit with a loss there. Isaac Collins, 2 RBIs. Noah Cameron, not Nick Cameron. Noah Cameron, 6 strikeouts there. He got the win. Lucas Urseg got the save. So Royals clawing their way back out of the basement, winning their 9th game of the season at that point, going up to 9-17. Angels fall to 12-15. So the Royals been doing well. They've been doing slightly better as of late after that series loss against Baltimore. The Pirates would actually shut out the Brewers. This is a Paul Skeens start, so that's not super surprising there. But the bullpen didn't give up a run either. Brewers actually only have 1 hit in this game, 2 errors. Pirates win this one 6-0 in the start of that divisional series between those 2 teams. Pirates advance to 15-11. Brewers fall to 13-12. Let's see who scored there. Let's see, the double for Ryan O'Hearn. All right, Connor Griffin got his first home run as a Pirate there. So that was pretty good. And they just put up a run in a good chunk of innings. Nothing too flashy there for the Pirates, but got the win quite easily there. Then the White Sox and Nationals will play. Munetaka Murakami hit his 11th home run of the season in this game. Sir Anthony Dominguez got his 6th save of the season, as the White Sox would win 5-4. So the acquisitions in free agency that the White Sox have brought in been doing pretty well so far for them. So they would open up that series in Washington, if I read that correctly. Hang on a minute. I just got to read something real quick. Okay, the Royals. Oh, it's that's why. So they're playing at the moment still. Yeah, there's a couple games still going on. The Cubs, Padres, Royals, Athletics, and then Marlins and Dodgers. All of them are in the 9th inning at the moment. Since I started this pretty late. But yeah, Cubs are up 8-3 in spot in the 9th. So Padres are probably going to lose that. Royals and Athletics actually going to extras from the looks of things. They're tied at 1. Then the Marlins actually leading the Dodgers at the moment. They're in the top of the 9th. Hang on, I got to check. Because I know the Dodgers walked off the Marlins last night. So Dodgers got 1 back there in the 8th inning. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway. So yeah. White Sox would win that one 5-4 there. Speaking of the Athletics, they would win 8-1 over the Rangers. As Carlos Cortez had 2 home runs there for the A's. Luis Severino got his first win for the A's this season. Nathan Eovaldi got hit with his 4th loss of the season there, as the Rangers would fall back to 500 at 13-13. Whereas the A's would take, I believe, the division actually at 14-12, because the AL West has been not great. They would take the division there. Though the AL West and the AL Central have not been all that spectacular. Speaking of the AL West, the Astros would play the Yankees and get absolutely demolished, as the Yankees would win 12-4 here. 4 home runs for the Yankees, and Will Warren had a really good performance. So the Yankees advanced to 17-9, easily the best team in the American League at the moment. The Astros fall to 10-17. And I don't want to talk about the Yankees anymore because they're annoying to talk about. Though I think this game had a moment where it was like in the 9th inning. And obviously the Yankees are up by a ton, but Jazz Chisholm tried to do an ABS challenge and it was literally right down the middle. like he was trying to call it a ball. I don't know why he was challenging it, because I don't even think it was a strikeout. I think it might've been a strikeout, but it was like right down the middle and he challenged it. It was very amusing to say the least. Then another ALS team in the Seattle Mariners, they would actually pick up a win here against the Cardinals, winning 3-2. George Kirby wins his third straight start, according to the headline there, getting up to 4-2 for his record. Andres Munoz got his fourth save of the season. Andre Palante, might be Payante. I don't know, because it's double L's, and I assume he's Hispanic of some sort. Maybe it is Palante. I don't know. But he got hit with a loss there for St. Louis. Let's see. Who were the run scorers? Josh Naylor had a home run. And yeah, I guess he had a solo home run from the looks of it. And I don't know why it says home run Naylor 3, sixth inning off Palante 0-0 out. Oh, that's probably pitch number. It's my guess. Maybe? I actually don't know. I'm like trying to read the box score and I can't tell. Anyway, so yeah, Josh Naylor with the home run there. The Cubs, meanwhile, would win over the Dodgers. And this was a Dansby Swanson 2-run ninth inning home run to put the Cubs over top of the Dodgers there. Both teams would advance / fall to 17-9 at that point. So a battle of two of the best teams in the National League over there in LA over the weekend. Then finally, the Marlins would win 9-4 over the Giants. Liam Hicks and Connor Normey both had home runs. Sandy Alcantara got a win there. So he would rebound after a couple of rough starts. And I know Liam Hicks had a pretty nice stretch there for Miami. He's been having a good season overall. I have him on fantasy teams. That's why I know why he's been playing pretty well. All things considered, though, I think he just got scratched from the lineup today for like potential injury. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. But I like my three bench guys are Geraldo Perdomo, Manny Machado, and Liam Hicks at the moment because all three of them are day to day with injuries. So that's a little rough there. I've had Jackson Chourio stashed on the injured list since the start of the season because I drafted him and he didn't say he had an injury. But then he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, he's on the 10-day IL, and it's been a little bit more than 10 days at this point. He's been like 30. He's still injured. So I think he's like a hamate bone injury or something like that. He's got like some kind of nasty injury that's been holding him back. So I don't hold him against or anything like that. It's just, for ESPN, like not reporting that he has an injury, and then it's like, oh, by the way, he's going to stay on your injured list for a month now. Have fun. But hopefully he comes back soon and hits happy and healthy for the Brewers there. Meanwhile, on Saturday, the Orioles had a game to forget as the Red Sox would win 17-1. They had 10 runs in the ninth inning, like I think 4 of them off of Weston Wilson, a position player, and like 6 off of Keegan Aiken. It was not good. Andrew Monastero had a grand slam that just... Not that it didn't not that the game was already out of reach or anything like the game was already out of reach at that point because it was like it was already 7-1 in the ninth. Orioles were just not doing anything right. But the grand slam certainly didn't help things. It was bad all around. Garrett Crochet got the victory here. He had a nice bounce back. Trevor Rogers got the loss. He's had a couple rough starts in a row. And it was like every time in this game when Trevor Rogers would basically get to 2 outs, he would just give up a hit. It was really frustrating to watch because he just could not find a way to put away batters. And I was not happy to watching that game. But I was happy enough because I could just turn it off and then go watch the NFL draft because this was day 3 of the NFL draft. But it was all around really bad for for the Orioles. I think the one run they scored, I don't think it was a Lodi Taveras RBI. It wasn't a home run. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good at all, to say at least. So this game got moved up from I think 4:00 to like 12:05 essentially because of inclement weather. And the Red Sox were originally planning to fire Alex Cora before the game. I guess basically in between games, the Saturday or the Friday loss, and then this game, but then it got moved up. So the Red Sox played this game, won, and then Alex Cora got fired along with like 5 or 6 other guys on the coaching staff. So it was very weird. It was like, oh yeah, you just won 17-1, you're fired. But I mean, the Red Sox were 10-17 at this point, and like I get why they fired Cora because it's like a really disappointing start, but their GM, whose name I'm forgetting at the moment, has not been doing a good job as of late with all of the like stars they've traded away, like, Mookie Betts back in the day, Xander Bogaerts, Rafi Devers as well. Then the currently bringing in Caleb Durbin to replace, like, also losing Alex Bregman because they didn't want to pay him. It was just not good. It's not good on the GM front, so I don't know why he's still there. But anyway, the Mariners would win 11-9 over the Cardinals. 8 home runs between the two teams here. Andres Munoz got his 5th save of the season, so he's been on a bit of a tear as of late. And the Mariners would win 2 in a row against the Cardinals. At that point, is that Matt Brash, I think is his first name? Matt Brash got credit for the win there. For the Mariners, the Blue Jays, meanwhile, would pick up a win over the Guardians, winning 5-3. Kazuma Okamoto homered there, and to help the Blue Jays win. What is your first name, Farland? It is Lewis Farland. He got the save there for Toronto. I know they've demoted Jeff Hoffman from closer duties. I think they're doing like closer by committee at the moment. Since Hoffman's not had a good start of the season at all at the moment. Ooh, Royals had a really nice top of the 10th inning there. They're up 4-1 now, so I guess that's 3 runs there for Kansas City in the 10th. So that's 5-3 win for the Blue Jays there. They even up a series there against Cleveland. Meanwhile, the Giants would win 6-2 over the Marlins. 3 home runs for the Giants in this game. Casey Schmidt, Heliot Ramos, and what is your first name? Because I don't remember. Is this Logan Gilbert? No, not Logan Gilbert. That's a pitcher, I think. Drew Gilbert. He homered for the Giants there. Eury Perez got the loss for the Marlins. Gave up 4 earned runs, and obviously the Marlins only scored 2 runs. Rough go there for the Marlins. They're 13-14 at that point. Giants 12-15. So the Marlins definitely hoping that Kyle Stowers can come back pretty soon. Meanwhile, the Rays would win 6-1 over the Twins. Shane McClanahan, who finally pitching at home for the first time in forever because he's been dealing with so many injuries. He would get the win there, so he would go to 2-2. Bailey Ober got the loss for Minnesota, and this was 2 straight wins for the Rays over the Twins there, as the Rays would advance to 15-11. They've been having a pretty nice start to the season overall. Twins would fall to 12-15. Nationals would win 6-3 over the White Sox. Nasim Nunez had 4 RBIs. This was also an extra innings victory. Cionel Perez actually got the win here, as the Nats would score 4 in the 10th inning. White Sox would only score 1, as I guess this was a 2-2 game going into the 10th inning, ended 6-3 there. So that's pretty cool for the Nationals there. They would advance to 12-16. White Sox fall to 11-16 in game 2 of that series of 3 games between those two teams that have had rough seasons over the past couple of years, to say the least. In the NL West showdown between the Padres and the Diamondbacks, Padres would win this one 6-4. This is actually the start of the series, start of a 2-game series, actually, oddly enough. That's kind of weird. Don't usually see too many 2-game divisional matchups, I feel like. But yeah, the Padres win this one 6-4. Mason Miller got his 10th save of the season in this game. Padres advanced to 18-8 after this game. Let's see, any home runs in this game for the Padres? 2. Oh, wow. What is your first name? Ty France had 2 home runs in this game. So that certainly helps there. And let's see. Both of them solo shots, actually. Interestingly enough. Ramon Laureano also had an RBI. Gavin Sheets had 2 RBIs. Freddie Fermin also an RBI there. So that helps the Padres. Their offense definitely been playing well at this point. I know Xander Bogaerts has also been playing pretty well for them so far this season. He's someone I might pick up in fantasy at the moment. If Geraldo Perdomo gets put on the injured list, essentially, because Bogarts is also a shortstop. But anyway, the Rangers would win 4-3 over the Athletics. Both those teams would wind up at 14-13 after this point. And this was game 2 of 3 for the series. Josh Young had a 2-run home run to, I guess, eventually the game-winning 2-run home run there for Texas. Then another AL West team in the Angels would get demolished by the Royals. Cole Reagans had 11 strikeouts for Kansas City as well, as the Royals would win this one 12-1. Very, very good game there for Kansas City. Let's see, home runs. Salvador Perez had a home run. Otherwise, that was the only homer. Just a lot of RBIs. Nick Lofton had 4 RBIs in this game. Perez had 2 RBIs. Carter Jensen also had 2 RBIs. He's been having a really nice season there for Kansas City as the heir apparent to Salvador Perez at catcher. The Yankees would win 8-3 over the Astros. Austin Wells had a go-ahead home run in the 7th. Is it Kai Whitang? Is that his name? Hang on. ESPN, can you load faster, please? Kai Whitang got hit with a loss there. I think he also got hit with a loss today. Maybe. I know he gave up a couple runs today. Might have only given up 2, actually. So probably not got hit with a loss today, but he got the loss here. Is this Fernando Cruz? Yeah, Fernando Cruz got the victory, or got the win for the Yankees. They would score, what is that, 6 runs over the final 3 innings to really blow the game open and win there. Austin Wells, Trent Grisham also had a home run for the Yankees. They would advance to 18-9 at that point in that series against Houston. This was, I believe, game 2, right? Yeah, this is game 2. Game 2 of that series there. Pirates would win 6-3 over the Brewers here. Gregory Soto got his 2nd win of the season, actually. This would go to the 2 extra innings. Pirates would put up 3 in extra innings to top the Brewers in that divisional matchup. No home runs for either team in this game, actually. But let's see. Who RBI? Doesn't say who got the RBIs in the 10th inning there, but Spencer Horwitz had a pair of RBIs there, so my guess is he probably contributed. That was brought the Pirates up to 16-11, winning 2 straight against the Brewers in that 3-game series. Brewers fall to 13-13. The Reds, meanwhile, would win 9-2 over the Tigers, who would fall to 14-14. Reds to 18-9. So they, really good season for them. So far, Sal Stewart had a 3-run home run, 5 total RBIs, and a really nice rookie season there. Jack Flaherty got hit with a loss. He's 0-2 on the season. Brady Singer got the win, so he's 2-1. And I know Nick Lodolo for the Reds should be coming back pretty soon. I think at least. And let's see. Actually, I already got Sal Stewart there. Meanwhile, the Phillies would actually win over the Braves, winning 8-5 here. Is this Brad Keller? Is that your name? Brad Keller got the win there for the Phillies. In the 8-5 victory. This was finally snapping that 10-game losing streak here. And, slightly riding the ship, though at this point they were still 9-18. Let's see. Box score. That's what I wanted. The box score in this one, no home runs for the Phillies, actually. Though Bryce Harper had 4 RBIs in this game. He went 2 for 3 with a walk. So that was a good game there for Bryce Harper. And the Braves would fall to 19-9 at this point, but obviously still very good season for them at the moment. Meanwhile, the Dodgers and the Cubs would play. Dodgers win this one 12-4. They score 6 runs in the 4th inning. Roki Sasaki got his first win of the season. Colin Ray got his first loss of the season. And yeah, this is a big win for the Dodgers there because this is a big series for both these teams. As the Dodgers would advance to 18-9, Cubs fall to 17-10. Seiya Suzuki and that's for the Cubs. Never mind. Max Muncy. I found out that there's 2 Max Muncies, by the way, in the majors at the moment. Because I was looking when I was doing the stats last week. I was like, that Max Muncy is on the Angel, or not the Angel, the A's, one of the A teams. But yeah, that Max Muncy's on the A's, but then there's also one of the Dodgers. I was very confused. But yeah, it is in fact that there are 2 Max Muncy's. The Max Muncy that has been on in the league for a good while, he's the one on the Dodgers. Then I think it's a rookie, much younger guy essentially, other Max Muncy, he's on the A's. But yeah, that is... I figured that out now. So that was something funny there. Meanwhile, the Cubs just played there. The Rockies and the Mets, they would have the game postponed to Sunday, which I'm here now, and I realize somehow I've already gone for 50 minutes, and I have no idea how. So I'm gonna just speed through this because I still have 3 more days to go. Like I'm just gonna go. We're just going fast. So the Red Sox win 5-3 over the Orioles. Wilson Contreras had a home run. Kyle Bradish got the loss here. Rolls Chapman with a save. Is it Connolly Early got the win there for the Red Sox. As the Red Sox actually take the series, winning their first game under their interim general manager. O's fall to 13-15. Red Sox 11-17 after this point. Rough series there for the Orioles against Boston. The Braves would win the series over the Phillies, winning 6-2 here. Chris Sale would work 6 shutout innings, according to the headline, for his 150 career win. Good there for Chris Sale. He's 5-1 in the season, so he's having a nice season there down in Atlanta. Braves, I think actually the first team at that point to get to 20 wins, as they would go to 29. Phillies 9-19. They, I think, played today, but I think this was the last game manager Rob Thompson managed for the Phillies. Blue Jays win 4-2 over the Guardians, taking that series there. Jesus Sanchez 2-run home run for Toronto. So they would win the second and third games of that series there to win that series, go to 12-15 after that game. Guardians fall to 15-14. In the first game of a doubleheader between the Mets and the Rockies would take the game 1 3-1. For some reason, the headline says, with help from robot umpire, Rockies beat Mets 3-1 for a third series win. New York's 14th loss in 16 games. So I'm not sure. Hang on, a slight detour. Why does this say? It was a ABS call. Okay. That changed a bases loaded walk into an ending called third strike. Got it. Okay. That makes sense then. I assume that's what it was saying, but yeah. Jose Quintana got the win there for the Rockies. I know he's former Met, if I remember correctly. Nolan McLean got the loss, so he's 1-2 on the season. Next up, the Tigers win 8-3 over the Reds. Pinch hitter Hao-Yu Lee's first major league home run helps Tigers to an 8-3 win over the Reds, according to the little Gamecast blurb or ESPN summary. So that is, what is your name? Brant Herter got his third win of the season. He's 3-0 this season. Tigers advance to 15-14. Reds fall to 18-10. As that series, I believe, did that go? Actually, Detroit staves off the sweep there in that series. The Rays, meanwhile, would sweep the series against Minnesota. Yandy Diaz had a home run. He's off to a really nice start to the season. Brian Baker got another save. Simeon Woods Richardson would get his 4th loss of the season. He's over 4 on the season. Or he's 0-4 on the season, I guess, 6.3 ERA. Twins fall to 12-16, Rays 16-11 at this point. The Astros would stave off the sweep, winning 7-4 over the Yankees. What is your first name? Spencer Arrighetti would allow 1 run in 7 innings. Jordan Walker had 4 RBIs, so Jordan Walker is doing really well. Luis Gil, I believe, has actually been optioned to AAA. I feel like he has. Hang on, let me double check. Luis Gil. news. Yes, he has been optioned to AAA, I think, after this game. Has Luis Gil, former, I forget if he won Rookie of the Year or not, but I know he's like one of the contenders for Rookie of the Year, but after his rookie season, it's been a bit downhill. I don't think he had Tommy John. He might have had Tommy John, but I know he dealt with injuries, unfortunately, but has not been great for Luis Gil at the moment. 1-2 record on the season, 6.05 ERA. Meanwhile, the Brewers would stave off the sweep against the Pirates. Kyle Harrison would throw a scoreless game. Not a complete game, I don't think. But obviously the Pirates had no runs. They only had 2 hits as well there, as the Brewers would get one back. Harrison only went 6 innings, but still only gave up 1 hit. 12 strikeouts as well to 1 walk, too. So that is really good outing there. As the Brewers would, obviously win 5-0. The Nationals win 2-1 over the White Sox in the 10th inning. C.J. Abrams, who's now actually, I believe, gone on. Oh, no, I'm thinking of Jeremy Pena. Never mind. Other shortstop. I had both those guys on my team last year in fantasy. That's why I was like, I for some reason got them confused. The Nats would take that series against the White Sox, winning the second and third games there. They would advance to 13-16. White Sox fall to 11-17. Mariners win 3-2 over the Cardinals. This was a Rob Refsnyder. He had an ABS challenge where he struck out, but had the call overturned, and then basically like either the next pitch or basically 2 pitches later, he would hit a home run, which was wind up being the go-ahead home run. Like crushed it too. It was a massive home run. So the Mariners would sweep the Cardinals there, going to 14-15 at that point. Cardinals fall to 14-13 there. So interesting that like the Mariners played 2 more games than the Cardinals. Next up, the A's would win over the Rangers 2-1. Was this extra innings? I don't think it was. No, it was not. But the A's would take the series there over the Rangers, advancing to 15-13. Rangers falling to 14 apiece, 14-14. So that's A's are kings of the West at the moment out there in the American League. Giants would win 6-3 over the Marlins. Landon Rupp had a really nice performance. He's having a really good season so far, 5-1 in the season out in San Francisco. 2 hits in 7 2/3 innings there for Landon Rupp given up. And the Giants would take the series there against Miami, winning the second and third games. The D-backs would win 12-7 over the Marlins here. A 5-run deficit they overcame, did the D-backs, according to the little blurb. They would score 10 runs in the 7th and 8th innings overall to take that victory over the Padres. Padres fall to 18-9. D-backs advance to 15-12 after that game. So they would split that 2-game series. Again, weird that it was a 2-game series. I don't know. Oh, it was MLB World Tour Mexico City series. That's what it was. I didn't realize they played Mexico City. That's cool. So that's why they only played 2 games. The Royals would win 11-9 over the Angels. Lucas Ursig got the win there for Kansas City. And the Royals would sweep that 3-game series over the Angels there, advancing up to 11-17. Angels fall to 12-17. So the Royals, again, clawing their way out of the basement, step by step. Meanwhile, the Dodgers would win that series over the Cubs, winning 6-0 in the final game of 3. So they would take the second and third games there. They are 19-9. After that game, Cubs 17-11. And so, this was, how do you pronounce your last name? Mr. Justin Robleski. Actually, that wasn't as bad as I expected, but he got the win there. 6 scoreless innings for him. He's 4-0 in the season. Shota Imanaga got the loss there. And then the doubleheader, game 2, between the Rockies and the Mets would net another Rockies win as they would win 3-0. Kodai Senga got the loss for the Mets as the Rockies would sweep that series against the Mets, winning all 3 games. Mets fall to 9-19, Rockies 13-16. So that was Sunday. Monday was not nearly as packed as a lot of teams ended their 3-game series. So this was Start of a new couple series for some teams where they just don't have days off pretty much. And I think also a couple other series were still going on. Maybe. Not really. Never mind. I think there's actually just start of new series for teams that just didn't have days off. So yeah, the Red Sox would actually win 5-0 over the Blue Jays to start that series there. Ranger Suarez got the win. Dylan Cease got the loss. So the Red Sox 2-0 at that point in their new managerial reign, though I know they lost today. The Rays would win 3-2 over the Guardians. The Rays on a bit of a winning streak at the moment. They're 17-11 there. They've won the past 6 actually. So they're doing well at the moment. So I guess that probably includes the win today as well. The Cardinals would win 4-2 over the the Pirates. In that NL Central divisional matchup, Pirates fall to 16-13, Cardinals 15-13. So they're just one game less than the Pirates. The White Sox would win 8-7 over the Angels, who have been on a pretty big losing streak as of late. And they also lost today. So they're actually on a 5-game losing streak. And I might have already said it earlier, but yeah, they've lost 9 of their last 10. So yeah, I did say that actually, but that was at this point probably like 30, 40 minutes ago. Somehow I've already managed to talk for an hour. No idea how. But anyway, the Twins won over the Mariners 11-4. Luis Castillo got the loss there. I was upset because I picked him up to start for fantasy. He had like -7 points. But oh well. Mariners fall to 14-16. Twins 13-16 after that game. Yankees would win 4-2 in the start of a series against the Rangers. Yankees advanced to 19-10. Max Fried got another win, so he's again really good. Start there. David Bednar got another save. The Padres would win 9-7 over the Cubs, starting that series out. So the Cubs on a slight skid at the moment. Although I guess they actually did win today. But yeah, they had 3-game skid there, but they're still doing well. Padres 19-9 at that point. Then finally, the Dodgers would walk it off over the Marlins, winning 5-4 last night. Basically last night, yeah. Pete Fairbanks got the loss there for Miami. Dodgers' second team in baseball to get to 20 wins. Then finally today, and I'm going to really speed through this so I can get to the stats and get through that quickly. Orioles would win 5-3 over the Astros. And to start that series there, Shane Baz got his first win as an Oriole. Love that. Kai Wai Tang actually did get the loss there. Ryan Helsley got his 7th save. Pete Alonso also had a home run in this game. 2-run home run, actually. Adley Rutschman had 2 RBI singles in this game. I was very happy to watch that. Adley, since he's come back from the injured list basically last week, has been on an absolute tear. He has been so good, and I'm so happy to see it. Because he was like really starting to put things together right before he went down with an injury. So it's good to see him. Like it wasn't a fluke, essentially. Like he is actually hitting really well, and we might be seeing the Adley Rutschman of like 2023 essentially. So the Blue Jays, meanwhile, would get a win back over the Red Sox, winning 3-0 there. Trey Savage got the win, I guess, in his first start of the season. Peyton Toll got the loss, so he's 0-1. And yeah, definitely Savage's first start because he's 1-0 with a flat 0 ERA. Rays would win 1-0 over the Guardians. So they're on a really nice stretch of games at the moment. They've won 6 in a row. The Reds would win 7-2 over the Rockies. So the Reds 19-10. So they're actually getting pretty close to 20 wins as well, is Cincinnati. The Phillies would win 7-0 over the Giants in their first game with their new manager. Jesus Luzardo had a really nice performance there for Philadelphia as they would advance to 10-19. The Cardinals would win 11-7 over the Pirates. And this is game 2 of the series, right? Yeah, so the Cardinals would win 2 in a row against their division rival there. Meanwhile, the Mets would pick up a win over their division rival Nationals, winning 8-0. Clay Holmes got the victory there. Zach Littell with the loss for Washington. So Washington 13-17. Mets finally into the double-digit win category. They are now 10-19. Braves would win 5-2 over the Tigers, so they are 21 wins at the moment. Casey Mize got the loss there for Detroit. Chicago win, or the White Sox would win 5-2 over the Angels to continue the Angels' major skid. Again, rough stretch there for Anaheim. I think actually in the game, it was either today or yesterday, the umpire when he was talking about a challenge, essentially, he actually called them Anaheim instead of Los Angeles. He corrected himself, but it was funny that he said Anaheim. And they should be the Anaheim Angels. They should not be the Los Angeles Angels. They like freaking Artie Moreno is just an absolute moron. No one likes him. Change the name, Artie. You're not a good owner. You don't know what you're doing. Anyway, the Brewers would win 13-2 over the Diamondbacks there. Both teams now 15-13. Chad Patrick got the win. Or no, you're not Chad Patrick. That's Chad Paddock. Right? No, you're Chad Patrick. Never mind. He got the win there. Merrill Kelly got the loss. Merrill Kelly's not having a good season so far. Mariners win 7-2 over the Twins, who have been on a pretty big skid as of late. Mariners 15-16. Twins, yeah, I'd already said they're skid. Yeah, they're 13-17. Yankees would hold off over the Rangers, winning 3-2. David Bednar got his 9th save. Jake DeGrom with a loss. Cam Schlittler with a win. Schlittler's 4-1 on the season. DeGrom 2-1 on the season. Cubs would win 8-3 over the Padres. Actually, I just mentioned that. Edward Cabrera got his 3rd win of the season. Meanwhile, the Royals would win in Astros 4-1. So yeah, the A's would not score there. So that game would be a 3-run 10th inning victory for the Royals. They advanced to 12-17. A's fall to 15-14. And then the Marlins would actually hold off the Dodgers there. They would not get walked off this time, as they would win 2-1 over Los Angeles. So now I will quickly go over the standings. Division-wise in the American League, it is New York, the Yankees. They are 20-10. Next is the Rays at 18-11. Then the Orioles at 14-15. Blue Jays 13-16. Red Sox 12-18. AL Central, it is the Tigers at 15-15. Guardians 15-16. Twins 13-17. White Sox same exact record. And the Royals one less win at 12-17. So very, very mediocre AL Central. And the AL West, not much better, actually. The A's are leading that division at 15-14. Mariners 15-16. So same wins, just 2 more losses for the Mariners at the moment. The Rangers are at 14-16. The Angels are at 12-19, and the Astros are at 11-19. So over in the National League, it is the Braves leading the NL East at 21-9. Then the Marlins are 7 games back at 14-16. So the Braves are comfortably leading that division at the moment. Then the Marlins at 14-16, Nats 13-17. Phillies and Mets both at 10-19 apiece. Over in the NL Central, which is really good, the Reds are leading that division at 19-10. Cubs right behind them at 18-12. Cardinals 16-13. Brewers 15-13. Then Pirates 16-14. Last in that division, but still, that's crazy. 16-14, and they're last in the division. Like, they'd be leading both the AL Central and AL West at the moment. Like, that's how like lopsided these leagues are at the moment. And then finally, the NL West. Dodgers are leading that one 20-10. That's the record, 20-10. Padres are half a game back at 19-10. D-backs at 15-13. Giants at 13-16. And then Rockies at 13-17. So quick stats and leaders and all that, just to round this off here. Yordan Alvarez is leading Major League Baseball in batting average at 355. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is right behind him at 340. Xavier Edwards is third at 339. I guess I should also say the team. So Yordan Alvarez for the Astros, Guerrero Jr. for the I almost said Raptors, but that is the Toronto's basketball team. Now the Blue Jays. Edwards on the Marlins. I feel like I should do like an April Fool's joke or something where I should do like try and do like different could do the Rockets for Jordan Alvarez, then the Raptors for Guerrero Jr., then the Dolphins for Xavier Edwards and whatnot, like different sports teams that play in the same city essentially. But Nick Gonzalez for the Pirates at 330 is number 4, and then Kevin McGonigal for Detroit is 5th at 327 batting average. Home run leaders, it is Aaron Judge for the Yankees and Munetaka Murakami for the White Sox at 12 apiece. Jordan Alvarez at 11. Ellie De La Cruz and James Wood for the Reds and Nationals at 10. Let me see if there's any others at 10. And there's one other, and that is Ben Rice for the Yankees, also at 10 home runs. I know Gunnar Henderson's at 9 at the moment, just for the Orioles. And all right. RBIs, it is Sal Stewart for the Reds at 29. Liam Hicks for the Marlins at 27. Matt Olson for the Braves. Jordan Alvarez for the Astros. Nico Horner for the Cubs, all at 26. Let me see if there's any others. Nope, that is it. There for RBI leaders. And I think these are updated pretty much as of late. I'm not 100% sure, but pretty up to date. Hits, it is Jordan Alvarez with 39. Ozzie Albies for the Braves, 37. Actually, a lot of guys at 37. Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez, also for the Marlins. Drake Baldwin, also for the Braves. They all have 37. Hang on. Yes, they all have 37. It's like the full list hasn't been updated yet. That's why it's a little weird. It's like the full list, I guess, is a little bit behind, but the top 5 is updated. Anyway, so finally, batting wise, stolen bases, it is Nasim Nunez for the Nationals at 13, Jose Caballero for the Yankees at 12, Jose Ramirez for the Guardians at 11, O'Neal Cruz and Chandler Simpson both at 10 for the Pirates and Rays respectively. Over for pitching, it is a couple of guys with 5 wins. Jose Soriano for the Angels, though I know he just actually got a loss today. Landon Rupp for the Giants, Chris Sale for the Braves, and Aaron Ashby for the Brewers all have 5. Max Fried, probably among others, has 4 wins, but he's just the one listed there, Fried on the Yankees. ERA leaders, it is, and I think, again, this is for starting pitching. Shohei Ohtani is first with 0.6. Jose Soriano second with 0.84. Ohtani on the Dodgers. Just for reference, Justin Robleski, also for the Dodgers at 1.5. Cam Schlittler for the Robleski for the Dodgers, Schlittler for the Yankees at 1.51, and then Nick Martinez for the Rays at 1.7. Saves, it is Mason Miller with 10 for the Padres, Dave Bednar with 9 for the Yankees, Sir Anthony Dominguez for the White Sox, Brian Baker for the Rays, and Riley O'Brien for the Cardinals all have 7. Let me see if there are any others at 7. Ryan Helsley for the Orioles, Paul Sewald for the Diamondbacks also have 7. And yeah, that looks right. Then strikeouts, it is Jacob Mizorowski for the Brewers at 51. Dylan Cease, Jose Soriano, and Ken Schlittler. Cease on the Blue Jays, they all have 49. Then Nolan McLean for the Mets has 45. Then quality starts, it is Max Fried for the Yankees at 6, Chris Sale, Shohei Ohtani, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers, all at 5. Then Michael Wacha, probably some others, has 4. And let's see, anything else that I want to go over stat-wise? Batting-wise, let's see, doubles leader, should be Matt Olson, Taylor Ward, and Ernie Clement, all tied, actually. Olson on the Braves, Ward on the Orioles, and Clement on the Blue Jays. Triples, it is, come on, ESPN, there we go. Corbin Carroll for the D-backs, leading at 4. And then WAR leaders for batters, it is Kevin McGonigal at 2.0, leading the way there. Pitching-wise, let's see, WAR leaders, it is Jose Soriano at 2.7, leading the way. This is included with his most recent loss as well. Let's see, any holds issued so far? Eric Sobrowski leads the league in holds with 11 for Cleveland. Most losses on the season, just because I'm curious. A lot of guys with 4. I'm not going to lead, not going to read all of them off, but there's a lot of guys with 4 losses, essentially. And then innings pitched, most innings pitched, it is Max Fried with 47.1. Next closest is Jose Soriano at 42.2. So yeah, Fried's been going deep in basically all of his appearances. So that's that there. Tyler Glass now leads the league in WHIP at 0.7. I assume that's like probably that's for starting pitchers. Fielding wise, this is gonna go through. I'm not gonna do fielders. Do I? Let me just do. Yeah, no, I don't need to do fielders. Yeah, I'll just end it off there. So yeah, that'll do it for this one. Tune in Saturday podcast wise for something. I have no idea what I'm going to do for Saturday's episode. No idea whatsoever. I'll figure it out. And I'm going to try and probably ask my brother to see if we want to do a draft recap episode for the NFL draft, because I'll probably want to do one at some point, depending schedule wise, when I have some time available. Because now we're firmly in the no news for in the NFL. Like usually no big news in the NFL for a couple months. Otherwise, so next week will be obviously more baseball podcast wise. No idea what I'm going to do Saturday. That's it. That's on the horizon for podcast. YouTube wise, it's going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate on Thursday. Orioles Yankees actually in New York on Friday. Very much looking forward to that. And then so that's it moving forward. Got more YouTube videos and shorts and stuff coming out in the future. So that'll do it. Thank you very much for listening.